Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays! Welcome to NoDQ Video, a special edition here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRift NoDQ. I have your questions from twitter.com/AaronRift using the hashtag NoDQ Video. So let's get started. First one today comes from Sean. When Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn return, would it be logical/likely that they jump into a feud with Bobby Lashley, given he's the kayfabe reason for their absence? I would say that's definitely a solid idea, and I felt like it was pretty much a Kevin Owens babyface turn when Lashley put him out of commission. It would make sense, and as I talked about recently on NoDQ Review, I feel like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn should be brought back together as a babyface tag team. The fact of the matter is that the crowd already loves these guys. Yes, they can both do the heel well, but I feel like they're better off coming back, getting cheered, which they're going to get cheered anyways. So why not capitalize on that and just let them be a babyface tag team? Let them be the top team in WWE. Let them help rebuild the tag team division. They could be the Monday Night Raw version of the Usos, where they could have a great match for the tag team titles every single week on television. These guys can go, and they have the chemistry together. You could start off by doing something with them and Bobby Lashley, maybe a tag team match with Lio Rush as Lashley's partner, maybe even somebody else. But yeah, I would definitely revisit that. And I would have Lashley and Zayn as a babyface tag team moving forward. Got this one here from LK Pardo 18. When in the same roster, names like Balor, Rollins, Zayn, Owens, and Ziggler, is there danger that EC3 will disappear, or is there no danger? Not getting enough screen time? What do you think that they will do with him, and what do you think they should do with him? I did get a similar question about EC3 on the last video. Somebody asked me about the idea of EC3 winning the Royal Rumble and having both sides bid for him, just like they did with Batista back in 2005. I think it would be a good idea to push EC3 really strong, but realistically, I don't see that happening. Now, will he get lost in the shuffle? That very well could happen. I mean, it has happened to a degree with Bobby Roode, although Roode is now one half of the tag team champions, so I guess that's better than nothing. I don't know how far EC3 is going to go in WWE, but if it was me, I would at the very least bring him in, let him cut promos because the guy can talk, and push him strongly. Push him as something special. Don't just push him for a few weeks and then give up on him. Give him a good 6 months of a strong push where he's dominating, where he comes off like a star. You protect him, and if he doesn't catch on, he doesn't catch on. But you got to give it a chance. If you give up on him after a couple of weeks and he's just a mid-carder, then why even bother in the first place? I mean, I definitely feel there is potential with him, but you got to do it right. You got to give him an opportunity to really succeed. Now, with a very crowded roster, that may be challenging, and he might end up being one of those Vince McMahon toys where Vince gives up after a couple weeks and then moves on to his next toy. Would not shock me if that happened, but hopefully he gets more of an opportunity, because I think he's definitely one of those guys that could be a major star if you just figure out what to do with him and something clicks. Got this one here from Eternal Heel. Did you see the latest episode of Being the Elite? Utterly hilarious comedy gold, but looks like the Elite have big plans they will announce soon. So do you think that they will be honest in suggesting that they said no to WWE, or is it all a bluff? I did watch that episode, or at least part of it, where they had Frankie Kazarian as Triple H and they super kicked him and he was staggering there for like 10 minutes. That was great. I did enjoy that. So what's the deal with these guys? Did they really turn down WWE? That is the general belief at this time, that they were offered a WWE deal, which I think they would be, because WWE has brought in a lot of lesser guys. The Young Bucks are at the top of the food chain right now. They're one of the hottest acts not signed by WWE. So, I would think that WWE would try to sign every top name that was affiliated with All In and every top name that is rumored to be part of this All Elite Wrestling promotion. I feel, however, that the Young Bucks, Cody, Kenny Omega, I feel all of them believe that their biggest value is staying away from WWE, trying to get a new promotion off the ground, compete with WWE, because the more Vince sees them as competition, the more he's going to want them in his company. So in the end, even if All Elite doesn't pan out, I think Vince will gain a lot of respect for these guys for working like madmen to try and make something happen and going all out, going all in to compete and try to start up something that could actually be an alternative to WWE. So I think Vince will admire that, and I think these guys are looking at the big picture. Is now the right time to sign? Probably not, because going back to the EC3 question, there's so many guys, so few spots. I think they're best off coming in when there are open spots, when WWE needs some new talent really bad. These guys can come right in and they can make the really big bucks. I mean, I think they would make the big bucks now, but it's just so crowded, the roster right now. I feel like even the Bucks and Cody, they might get lost in the shuffle. I don't think they would, but, I think it's better to come in when there are more spots available and when the opportunity is right. Look at AJ Styles. He came in when there were a lot of injuries and WWE needed some fresh blood. It was perfect timing when AJ Styles came in, and that's why I feel it worked out so well for him, because he came in at the exact right time. Got this one here from Boogeyman79. When Ricochet debuts on the main roster, do you think it would be good for him to go to SmackDown and possibly have a 5-star match with AJ Styles? Your thoughts? Well, of course, it would be a great idea for anybody to have a 5-star, 6-star, 7-star if it's Tokyo Dome. It would be a great idea to have an excellent match with a top guy in WWE. So that's a no-brainer. It would be in Ricochet's best interest to be able to have those kind of matches. The question is not so much can he have those matches, but will he be allowed to have those matches? And that's a big question mark. We see what he can do in NXT. We've seen what he's done in Lucha Underground as Prince Puma. But will WWE allow him on the main roster to go all out and pretty much outshine everybody else and have the best match possible? That I don't know. The jury is out on that, and time will tell. Again, how far will WWE be willing to go with this guy? How much will they let him do? How much creative freedom will he have to do what he does best? That's a big question mark, and that remains to be seen. But yeah, I think if given the opportunity, him and AJ could have an all-time classic. I'm thoroughly convinced he could pull it off. It's just a matter of will WWE allow it or not. That is the big question. Got this one here from Butthole Weeb. Okay. I know you don't watch NXT a lot, though. Thoughts on Nick Miller apparently getting released? I personally think that it is dumb. Such a talented tag team. Well, there's lots of talented tag teams, lots of talented wrestlers, and again, it's a problem where there's so many guys, and especially if you're not a top tier level guy, it's going to be easy to get lost in the shuffle, and even in NXT, you're going to risk getting lost in the shuffle when there's so many new people. WWE is always signing people. They're always bringing in people to the Performance Center, and they're always looking for fresh blood, for young talent. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but the sea is vast. There are tons of guys out there, and sometimes the timing just isn't right. Maybe he'll have to spend some more time on the indies and build his name up more and then try again. I mean, anything's possible. Never say never. Sometimes the timing just doesn't work out, regardless of who you are. Even if you're a bigger name, like a James Storm, the timing just might not be right for you to come into WWE and the NXT brand. All right, this one comes from Jeffrey. Hey Aaron, congratulations on your new relationship. Thank you for that. It may be too early to speculate, but when and where do you expect Ronda Rousey to be given her first loss, and who should be the one to break her undefeated streak? I could answer this in one sentence, but I will elaborate a little bit more on my thoughts. Becky Lynch, WrestleMania 35. I feel like, yes, Ronda should be booked strongly. She is a legitimate UFC fighter, and people take her very seriously. However, at some point, she needs opposition. She needs somebody who's at her level. And I think ultimately, you want to use Rousey to build up the next big star in WWE. You want to use Ronda to elevate somebody else. And from Ronda's perspective, I think she understands this and knows in the long run, she should be putting over other people and helping to build new stars, using her star power to help the younger talent. Well, not necessarily younger talent, but the other talent that are rising in WWE. I think it should be Becky Lynch. I think Lynch should beat her at WrestleMania and give Ronda her first defeat in WWE. And then Ronda has some opposition and she has something to fight for. She can come back and get her rematch. She can build towards that. If she just goes through everybody, then it's boring. You got to have some kind of conflict, and you need some kind of belief that somebody can beat her and that she is beatable. Because if you just book her as unstoppable forever, eventually people will get tired of that. So yeah, I think it's got to be Becky. She's the next big star. She is the big star right now as far as I'm concerned. So I feel like it's got to be her at WrestleMania, and that's when you strike the iron. It's hot right now. You got to strike it. Got this one here from Chris Cahill. Hey Aaron, what is the difference between the what chants today compared to the Stone Cold what chant? Interesting question. The what chant when Austin was doing it was obviously during a period when catchphrases were a very big deal. I guess they still are today. But, you know, the fans just liked doing the what chant with Steve Austin. They were interacting with him. And then they would chant what at the heels to antagonize them, like Kurt Angle, and Angle would sell it. And that made it entertaining. The fans just kept egging him on with the what chants. Now it is a bit different. It's more about the fans just being bored with something. They start the what chants if they're not really all that invested in what's going on television. So they're more nowadays trying to entertain themselves, where before they were reacting to what was going on and they were invested in the characters and reacting accordingly. Now it's just the opposite, where they're not invested in the characters and just trying to basically entertain themselves. Got this one here from Kenny. Any thoughts on these Bray Wyatt tweets? He's talking about the goodbye tweet that Bray Wyatt made, and there was another one, and Bray Wyatt indicating that he might be going in a different direction. He might be on a new path. I don't know what it means, but he is booked for upcoming WWE live events, so I don't think he's going anywhere. Could it be the start of a repackaging for Bray Wyatt? Maybe. As I mentioned on the NoDQ review, I think he needs it. I think Bray Wyatt needs a character overhaul. Not necessarily a full-blown overhaul, but maybe change up his look, change up his music a little bit, change the way he works in the ring, his moveset, just little tweaks to evolve the character. And I hope that's what he's talking about. I don't think he's going away. I think we will see more Bray Wyatt. It's just a matter of him getting back into the groove and having something creatively that is appealing to the audience and something that Vince and the people in WWE can get behind and put the marketing machine behind. Got this one here from Killshot. 3 out of 4 next week advertised matches we've already seen last week. What's with the fresh start, new faces, new matches stuff all about? Well, I think it's just a marketing ploy by WWE. I think it's a little bit of bait and switch. WWE telling you what you want to hear. Hey, we're going to change. We're going to do new matches and all that stuff. Now, I don't expect that to be a regular thing, but I think at least for the time being, WWE will make a conscious effort to try and change things up. I could be totally wrong on that, but my feeling is at least for a while we will see it. Now, I wasn't really expecting anything this week or even next week for New Year's because of the fact that it is a lame duck period. I think once we are into the new year, football season's over, you're going to see things shaken up a little bit. I think WWE will put a conscious effort into legitimately changing up the format of the show and trying to do some new things and give some fresh matchups to fans. I think it's just a transitional period right now. I could be dead wrong, though. I mean, this could just be complete BS, WWE blowing smoke out their ass. That very well could be what it is. And, you know, January comes along and it's still the same rematch every week and it's the same old thing that we see every single week. Would not shock me either way. That'll wrap it up for this special edition of NoDQ video. Head over to NoDQ.com/shirts. I'm sure some of you out there will be getting your Christmas money. If you want to support NoDQ.com, head over to NoDQ.com/shirts and pick up a shirt. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com, of course, for the very latest wrestling news and rumors. Vote in the year-end awards while you still can. The results will be announced at the end of December, so you do have a little bit more time, but time is running out. So go vote, NoDQ.com/features, and I will see you guys next time.